From KSMQ in southern Minnesota, this is Off 90. This week we visit Kellogg, Rochester, Austin, and we talk with people from all over the area. Funding for Off 90 is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
Lark Toys to me is very magical. There's something special about it. And as far as the toys, there's a lot of love. And seriously, there is.
We're working for the joy of it, really. And when you get to work with your children and grandchildren, and you get to be about helping people find treasures but find each other as much, then there's a fair amount of joy in that.
The thing I like in my life is variety. I like to do lots of different things, and this offers me that opportunity. I can mop the floor and on one day and put toys away and do pricing on toys when they come in. There's just a lot of things to do, and I also get to work with my wife and my daughter and son-in-law and see our granddaughter interact with people.
I get to work with the best people in the world, my family. Working together on something as marvelous as Lark Toys just keeps me coming back every day.
It's not just a manufactured thing that you're stamping out. There's care, you know, and that's what I love.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers.
We get to see families interact with their children, their grandchildren. We get to see them reconnect with one another in a very fun atmosphere. Riding the carousel, you can hardly go around without smiling.
I like wooden food, which sounds kind of crazy, but we have a tea party section and a lot of wooden food, and they can make all kinds of food for Grandma and Grandpa.
You won't find many toys in here that have batteries, for instance. We try to stay unplugged in that way. We try to have toys that are very interactive, that kids can take apart and put together.
My favorite part of this is the bookstore. I'm really fond of helping every way I can to keep kids reading. So that's a love of mine.
The combination of toys and books that we have here meet a really good need for families.
The thing here, you can be creative. So, I mean, if we want to start creating new toys, it's awesome. I mean, it's wide open. We can do whatever we want. If we come up with an idea, we'll sketch it out and we'll have a new pull toy.
We're very proud of the things that we make. You know, all out of wood with safe stains. You won't find them anywhere else.
Because I think we listen a lot too to see what people are looking for. We try to help people discover toys that are very open-ended and fun and educational and developmental, and will last a long time.
For 2 years in a row, we've had a group come who are fundraising for cancer. We have had a personal connection to cancer, yeah. Camp Jornada comes and have a silent auction here, and so we contribute our time and space and a lot of donations for carousel passes and mini golf rides and things to get people out and into the area and come celebrate and visit. We've got such great educational and developmental toys that are just real long-lasting and good for the whole family. And of course the Lark Toys. They're the highlight in how Lark got started.
It's very rewarding for us to feel a pride in our toy maker, Tim Monson.
I'm originally from Austin, and they had called and said that they're interviewing for shop workers, you know, and at that time I was stripping furniture in Austin. And I just came up on a whim and did the interview and seen what they made here, and I fell in love with it.
Just to see the things that he's come up with over the years, people really respond to that because it's made locally. It's not something from far away. It's right here, Minnesota made, and that's a big draw and a big source of pride.
And I enjoy being here 23 years later. I love my job. What I'm amazed with, even after working with wood this many years, is to be able to just take a flat piece of wood and a few hours later you have a pull toy or a piece of furniture or anything like that. I'm just amazed by that. That's my love. That's why I do what I do, is that. To just turn a piece of wood into something nice.
Some of my favorite toys are the grasshopper. The courting frogs is really a cute one.
The oldest ones are still our best-selling ones. Grasshopper, turtle, stegosaurus.
You won't find them anywhere else, and they're kind of mementos. They're things that you can keep for years and years. There is a real draw for people coming here to see the things we make right on site.
People want something American-made, something with a little more lasting, that's not just a piece of plastic that the kids are going to play with once and it's going to break.
We just had somebody send in one that they bought 20 years ago, and a wheel had come off, and they wanted us to repair it. We repaired it and sent it back to them.
Because they don't want a new one, they want that.
Because they wanted to keep that as long as they possibly can. And it looks like it had been played with a great deal over the 20 years.
Some of them have been chewed up by dogs, and it's pretty cool. To see something that you've made 20 years ago, you know, and it's still functioning, so that's definitely a lasting toy, a lifetime toy.
That's another thing I love about this place, is that there are people from every corner of the world.
He's the best right there.
And just to see people from all walks of life is just really fun. We have people from Mongolia, Kuala Lumpur, Russia, and I don't know where we haven't seen people from.
People come and spend hours at a time exploring one room after the next, and as time goes on, it'll become even more magical.
I think the greatest part is by word of mouth. People having a great experience, going back, telling other people, hey, you've got to check out this place.
What we're hoping folks will come to know is that we're here in this beautiful spot in Minnesota, and with the bluffs and the river, and so the trip itself is pretty remarkable, and it's sort of a hidden treasure.
If I could put it in one word, it would be smiles. I would like them to have an experience in relating to their families, a happy, fun experience that they're going to want to come back to and bring their friends.
We're still using the same patterns we used 24 years ago, 25 years ago. The dragon is my favorite toy. It's just, the colors are really nice on it, and the action is awesome. The way the clouds go up and down, and that's my favorite one.
I hope a lot of people will bring their families and tell other folks and just come visit.
I love seeing families enjoy one another. You know, we all live busy lives, and I walk by the tea party table, and I'll see a grandpa sitting at the table, and he's got a 3-year-old child serving him pretend tea, or a grandma playing on the plasma car with her children, or people just enjoying one another and taking a few deep breaths and having some time together.
Thank you.
The students think it's, I think some of them, first of all, don't even realize that they're causing an interactivity, and then eventually they realize it and they're going, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm an interactive installation artist and also teacher, college teacher. I was trained as a music composer. So this is a surround sound system, left, right. And then I got involved in various other formats of media, so exploring in graphics, and video, and I love all of it. This is a whole new way of approaching sound. Because usually as a composer, it's a linear event. In other words, I would write the score, write all the parts out, hand it to the orchestra, they would play it. This, and it's nonlinear, so that I can conceive of pieces that would be played in any order, depending upon how it's tripped. Well, this work is Interactive Tunnel. It's located at University Center, Rochester. As one moves through the tunnel, there are cameras that are watching for motion. And when you walk through the colored lights that are on the floor, light and sound occurs. Part of it is writing original music and writing the programming for the lights, the interactivity. I worked with some colleagues on this one. The ceramics are done by Robert Banker. And it's got kind of metallic kind of paint on it. So it reflects, and it's got some very cool texture and colors through it. The programming language, it's like a visual language that allows you to have it control lights, have it control sound, have it control video. The experience changes as different people come through this. Some students do this. They actually avoid they actually go through the lights, so it doesn't set anything off. Whoops. Some more successful than others. Sometimes there are drums that go off. Sometimes there's melodic lines. I've had full orchestra events. I've got probably 25 different pieces written for the tunnel. So this is the main lobby of the Doubletree Hotel in Rochester, and it's set as individuals come in through the main door. They literally make this work start happening. There are cameras that are located up above. There's 5 cameras. The little dots here, these are called trip zones. So when people walk by these different things, it makes different events happen. The cameras are simply looking at motion and color. And when you walk through the camera's field, it makes different events happen. The circles and cubes that are up on the screen right now have our image interspersed directly into the image, and it's just spinning. My motion now will make these images move, change shape, spin, turn colors. It'll also change the color of the wall when I walk by particular areas, make the wall change colors. There's a 60-foot wall. And it's literally that the artwork changes as you move into the artwork. So I'm kind of part artist / part computer science guy. This was done about a year and a half ago. And then we came to the idea of having this 60-foot wall being lit by LED lights. Came up with the idea of inserting a large video screen in the center so that as people came into the space, that they would literally interact and change the artworks. The piece does something different depending upon how many people are watching it, what color clothes they have on, and how much motion there is. For me, the real fun is the 50 hours that I spent in my studio actually writing it. Every artist is a technician because art is the control of a tool for an aesthetic end. So that tool might be controlling a paintbrush. That tool might be a pencil writing a piece of music down. That tool might be controlling your voice as a vocalist. This is my 3rd of 6 permanent pieces that are up at different institutions across the region. Every artist who creates does it because it's a psychological high for them. But to me, that's the part that's the most fun, is the creative process. It's kind of like William Glasser talks about this thing called the PA state, the positive addiction state. And it happens to runners. They get into this groove once the endorphins release, and before they know it, it's a fun, safe, legal, altered high. And I think all creative artists get into that space. It's a fun place to be. And I have a physiological kind of thing I'm hoping to have happen. And then I'm having with that kind of a psychological part of it, you can literally interact with it or choose not to interact with it. so that if you move away from the piece, it does nothing. Art is a two-way street. It doesn't exist until the viewer interacts with it. There's play here. I mean, there's no question about it. And so as you can see, if there's darker colors on the bottom here, there are viewers who will take a look at these pieces, see what it does, and start dancing in front of it and playing. Then there are people who will look at it, see what it does, and then back away from it and go, I'm not getting involved in this. And so to a certain degree, there's a level of discovery at the individual's point. What kind of viewer are you? Are you the kind of person that will interact with stuff, or are you the kind of person that's just going to back away and go, not me? So it's kind of a learning tool in a strange way. My name is Kevin Dobbe, and I'm an interactive installation artist.
This is Good Pennies Keep Coming Back. You found me lost in line with my tail side showing. Glad you seen me cross the floor rolling before I was kicked under the jukebox, never to be seen again. Tossed in a wishing well, flattened on a railroad track, stuck inside a piggy bank, waiting for a kid to crack, saving up for that rainy day. Good pennies keep coming back. You use me when you have to get your 2 cents in, penny for your thoughts shared with a friend. In God we trust more than ever, pennies, don't throw them away. Tossed in a wishing well, flattened on a railroad track, stuck inside a piggy bank, waiting for a kid to crack, saving up for that rainy day. Good pennies keep coming back. A penny saved is a penny earned, that's what Franklin said. With enough Abe Lincolns, you can keep your family fed. You need me like that penny rolling across that floor. My memorial's faded and my face is worn. Now times are tough to make ends meet. Pennies with blades of wheat, tossed in a wishing well, flattened on a railroad track, stuck inside a piggy bank, waiting for a kid to crack, saving up for that rainy day. Good pennies keep coming back. Good pennies keep coming back.
I like this cold weather.
But I do like cold days. I enjoy the cold air, maybe because it's opposite from hot and humid, which I don't like.
You know, I ain't too big about the summertime. I like cold. Whatever cold it is, I'm prepared for it.
This is freezing cold.
Especially in the mornings, it feels like a sharp blade stabbing you in the face.
I had changed my tire just a week ago in this cold blitz. Well, if you've ever changed a tire in cold weather, you'll know what I went through.
Yes, this is too cold. There's no reason for it, really, in my way of thinking. I should live in Hawaii.
Well, it's normally sunny when it's super cold, and then because it's not snowing, so I like the fact that the sun can actually come out. The view is really lovely from my office window.
I like wearing my winter jacket.
I like really cold days if you have the time to sit and read a book or stay in your pajamas all day.
It ain't cold. This is summertime to me. This is my summer. Yeah, I love it. I love it when it's cold. Yeah.
But this ain't cold. I don't know what people are talking about. This is some good weather we having.
Well, I really enjoy a nice handful of frostbite, so I do look forward to the freezing cold days, yeah.
I don't mind it. You live in Minnesota, you expect it.
Live in Minnesota, you got to put up with it.
I stay in and I drink hot cocoa, some coffee, spend time with family. So I guess it's good for that if you want to spend time with family.
Sit in, play with my granddaughter, drink hot chocolate.
A lot of movement, staying in the house, watching TV, drinking hot coffee and cocoa with marshmallows, of course.
Oh, you just take 1 hour at a time, and you just keep going. Try to create your own little, try to keep heat going in the body, and first half hour is the worst.
Let the car warm up a little bit more so it's not freezing cold when you get in the car.
Sometimes. Me and my fiance like to go outside and throw snowballs at each other. That's always a fun thing. And then me and the kids go sledding.
Layer up, have extra stuff in the trunk of the car. I've got those hand warmer things in my car.
Cover everything, 2 or 3 layers.
I put on a lot of layers when I go out, about 5 or 6. My coat has 2 layers. I think that's a good way, is to keep warm, is to put on a lot of layers.
Yeah, lots of layers.
I would say 5, 10 below. Then it starts getting nasty. Makes for a long day. It really does.
Well, everything below 0 is cold.
Anything below 0 is just, I guess, too cold.
When you walk out and your face just freezes and your car don't start, so, oh my gosh, negative what? I don't remember, 20? Negative 20 or so. My face was freezing. My eyes were watering. My butt froze.
My thermometer had little bubbles in it, so it's not working anymore. And I thought that's kind of cold. When the thermometer gives up, that's too cold.
It made my toes freeze.
It was so cold that I stayed housebound for several days.
It was so cold that The hair on my face froze into ice.
I jogged for a walk yesterday and had my whole face bundled up, and by the time I got home I had icicles on my eyelashes. It was kind of fun.
Well, I know that it's so cold in Minnesota that the cows around here produce ice cream.
Oh yes, it's a welcome sight when that comes to get to this cold.
That's it for now. But join us again next week for Off 90. Meanwhile, let us know what you think and tell us about any interesting people, places, or stories that you want to see here in the coming weeks. Then watch for the KSMQ crew out there, around your town, in our communities, along the back roads. Wherever arts, culture, and history can be found in southern Minnesota, that's where we'll be. But you can be sure we'll always be Off 90. Funding for Off 90 is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.